Hi, everyone. I'm Seth.
Hi, guys. I'm Monique.
And this is
Gay Math. The Gay Math Podcast.
With Seth
and Monique.
This is Gay Math.
Okay.
With Seth and Monique.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
welcome back to, this is Gay Math Pod.
Yeah, I'm Monique.
I'm Seth.
And yeah, this is Gay Math Podcast.
Wow, we remembered.
Yeah.
Someone should, I deserve, a sticker or a ribbon or something for remembering.
Because I fear every time we film, we, start talking and then we don't introduce ourselves until the middle of the podcast.
If we even do that.
Right.
We don't say who we are, what this is, what we're doing. None of that.
Right.
Should we tell them the unfortunate news of the last episode?
Okay, girl. So if you remember, we had this happen one other time. We had filmed an episode that we were not necessarily excited about, but we're like, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be at least fun. A fun little episode talking about reality TV.
And then we ended up watching it all the way through, trying to edit it. We hated it and just did not upload it ever. Last time we filmed, we literally did the exact same thing. It was just okay, here's the thing. It was just too X-rated or R-rated for even us.
You know, the thing is, when we're telling you that it was too inappropriate, it was just, we were behaving as if it was just us kikiing by ourselves. Right. Not that a camera's on us, 2 microphones recording every word that's coming out of our mouth.
And
so it's a little much.
Right. And you know what? That just made me realize, because also the episode we're talking about today is about a reality TV show. That just made me realize that if we were on a reality TV show,
which one day we will be,
I fear
that's actually a great point.
Yeah,
I'm going to forget the cameras are there. I think that's what the producers are going to hope that we do, that we forget the cameras are there.
Yeah.
I just fear it's going to get me into some trouble.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's going to make for a juicy reality show. And
exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Just was too bad. We watched it back, and at the end we were like, is this too much? This is too much. No. Also, the ring light wasn't on.
Period. Okay.
Now it's on.
Amazing production we have here at Gay Math Podcast.
Yeah, lighting crew. Could we get the light? But yeah, that episode is no more. She's been deleted officially, and so yeah, that's why this episode is a week late. Yeah. And we appreciate, no more messages. You all can stop asking.
Exactly. We're so sorry.
We're back.
We're back.
And we would have been back last week, but we just feared that it would be the end of our career as we knew it. So we decided not to post it. So here we are. We're back, like she said.
Yeah.
This episode, I'm excited for. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the best episodes we've ever filmed. Just because it's not only so current, but it's also I think we have personal attachments to it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, like she said, we're going to be talking about today the secret lives of Mormon wives. If you're a person on the internet, I'm sure you've heard something about this show, but it dropped, was it last week?
Yeah, maybe.
It's only been out a week or so.
Yeah, maybe a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. And we both watched it. I finished it last night, and we have so many thoughts.
I have so much to say about it.
So many thoughts. So spoilers ahead, obviously. We're about to talk about the entirety of the show. So if you've seen it, great, strap in. If you've never seen it and don't care about spoilers, strap in. But if you care about spoilers, maybe watch the episode and then come back.
Yeah. Also, why do I feel like we're giving Trixie and Katya right now?
Oh, we are, where they're spoiler, no spoilers, go watch it, come back.
Yeah.
Which Netflix, hello? We would be hilarious to watch a show.
Right.
So hire us. Also, if you're hiring for a reality show,
absolutely.
We're hot, sexy, gorgeous. We do fun things. Okay. So a reality show about our lives would be interesting.
Exactly. Okay. And also, I pitched this, not literally pitched this, but I was saying to Seth, it would be such a good idea because I feel like religion is so big now, especially with everything that happened to our church, everything that happened with some churches in LA and now the Mormon girls. what if they made, which if anybody steals my fucking idea, like,
we're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, so I said this first, like everybody knows it's on camera.
Yep.
That they should do a reality TV show following people who have either left the church, been excommunicated, like whatever.
Yep.
And like their lives and how they like adapt to like living different lives now.
Yes.
Like, okay, not like, what is that show with like those Amish
like leaving
people?
Amish,
Yes.
breaking Amish.
Like obviously like.
But just like Hillsong, breaking Hillsong.
But we're not like obviously Amish, but like it.
Wait, you're not Amish? Imagine this. I pull a mask off. I've been Amish the whole time.
But yeah, no, like would that not be like iconic?
That's a great idea.
Like,
so if you're a casting person, obviously we would be two great stars of the show. We could have some side characters, but we would be the stars. I would probably
we'll
say.
Like get like our friends who have also left the church, and like it'll be so good. Like we're living in LA. Like we also have friends in New York. Like how good would that be to like see like our lives?
Right. Like 2 years ago, I was wanting to be a worship pastor, and now I'm like drugs at like. You know, like it's just I'm not actually drugs.
No, he's like joking. He's joking.
Right. who drugs these days?
I don't know.
Like, who has the time?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode that we're Do we have any life updates like quickly?
Oh
before we get into it.
So super quick, guys.
Oh, I was like, wait, do we have any? And I was like, we surely do.
Super quick, guys. I know that in so many of our episodes, we've been talking about how we're both unemployed, how we're so happy that we get to do this podcast during this time.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I will no longer be a regular LA bitch who does nothing every day because I got a job. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh my God. I just feel like we've been waiting and talking about this. Like, it's happening. Like, finally. Like, it's so exciting. Quite the journey you've been on. And it's just like so deserved. And it's so exciting.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, it's been a hard one. And if you've ever like never had a job, you just like know, especially now, I think everyone can relate to that because companies are like laying off people like
by the hundreds.
Yeah, so if you have been through it, you get it. It's like hard. And then if you lose unemployment like I did, it's like even harder. So yeah.
It's horrible. It's terrible, and you push through and you're rewarded with a job. So Monique is entering her employment era. No more unemployment jokes because it's we're not unemployed anymore.
And also, I was reflecting on this the other day, like how back in the day when I had a job and I lived at home, I like literally was like living as if I was like fucking rich. Bitch, I was getting tattoos like every month.
Designer
I was buying bags. Like literally, I was buying fucking bags.
Yep.
Like I was going out to dinner. Like
That's the era we're about to enter. We're about to start doing that again.
So period. And also,
thank God.
Seth has an update.
Yes, as Monique has been in her, we both been in our unemployment era.
Right.
I've been in my school era, and in 48 hours, I'll be done. I'll have graduated in 42 days. I just can't believe it. I'm now about to enter the job hunt, which is, well, I've already kind of entered it this week, but it's going to be horrible and terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it goes by as quick as possible, but it's going to be horrible. But I'm excited to be done. I'm excited to have a job soonish.
I know.
I can't wait for the day that I can announce here that I'm
literally
employed. But
and like what Seth is doing, it's gonna like for sure be like a cool job, like at like a big company. Like it's like gonna be one of those jobs where you can like tell people, yeah, I work at fucking Google.
Yeah, and what do you do?
Right, like
and what do you do?
It's gonna be like a cool thing, like you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a career.
Yeah,
for my first time. My last job, I made $20 an hour, and a blind monkey could have done it. So there wasn't much skill required in it. So it's going to be interesting to have a job where skill is required and education is required. And so it's just interesting. It's an interesting era to be entering into. So we're both like new chapters this week, literally. You got your offer. I finished school this week. Like it's crazy the timing. She's in her employment era.
Thank God, guys, because girl, I was like literally freaking out. I was like, oh my God, do I have to move back to New York? Like, So we're good. We're good.
So get ready. You're going to see designer clothes. You're going to see an upgrade in quality. You're going to see better mics. You're going to see a better camera, more ring lights, a crew. Like, get ready.
I'm going to hire people to make us a reality TV show.
We're like, you know what would be a good idea? We've already hired people. There's a film crew already. We've hired it.
Right.
Maybe that's the end. We just make a reality show about ourselves.
Contact somebody. Like, I don't know.
We got to know someone.
Girl,
we're in the city of dreams. Is this the city of dreams? City of angels? City of no, that's New York.
No, city of dreams isn't that Paris? Or is that the city of love?
City of love. I think this is definitely the city of angels because of that stupid thing, but I think it's whatever. The city. This is Hollywood, baby. This is Hollywood. We got to know someone out here.
No, literally.
But those are our updates. Yay.
Now,
employment era, no school era.
Yeah.
And we're excited.
Things are going to be good. Things are changing for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're about to talk about some Mormons for an hour.
Actually, like, I'm genuinely so excited.
Me too. We have so many thoughts about the show. Monique's got her ancient notebook. I've got my cell phone like a normal person.
Girl.
And yeah, this is my notepad here of all my thoughts about
notebook.
It. Also, I did get this. I felt like this was just, it felt right for, we're talking about Mormons.
And also, we're going to be unpacking a lot of things, like, personally, so.
Religious trauma, and not that I'm going to feel one single spiked limeade.
Seth is like a heavyweight, so we got to get him really good if he's going to feel anything.
If I would need probably 6 of these to feel something, so. But yeah, we're just going to take the edge off a little bit.
Yeah, so.
Like, where and how could we possibly even begin to talk about the secret lives of Mormon wives?
Honestly, here's the thing. I genuinely I would never have expected a show to come out of like this whole situation. Because, okay, backstory if you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because I was going to say, like, starting the show, I knew there was a swinger situation.
Yes.
I kind of had heard the tea. I didn't look that deep into it, but like the show started and it talked obviously the whole time about the swinger situation, but I was kind of confused. Like, obviously Taylor was a part of it, but I was like, who else was a part of it?
Exactly.
Are any of these girls? Because a lot of them were like, we never swung?
Yeah.
We never swung with anyone else. Me and my husband are loyal to each other. Like, all the other girls said that. I was like, so who exactly was involved? I was just really confused. Obviously Taylor, but.
Exactly. So the tea is that basically the whole show is based off of like a couple Mormon women who live in Utah. Utah is a big like place for Mormons.
Mm-hmm.
But basically it's surrounding this like TikTok group of women called Mom Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls, Taylor, is like probably one of the most notable girls in the group because she started Mom Talk. She's also known because of like the swinger scandal that was basically that a couple of couples along with her were all swinging with each other, but not in the way that you just switch like separately. They were actively doing it together, like all together at parties and stuff like that. And
it seemed like it wasn't like, hey, we're swingers, want to come to our party? Like, it seemed like this group of friends who, like, from the way they explain it, like, they were at a party and it was like the 2 of the girls kind of made out and then nothing else happened. And then the next party, it was like more people made out, but then that was it. And then things just slowly started to become an entire, like, orgy.
Yeah. So I'm pretty, like, the show, like, came out of that. And apparently, like, I saw a video somewhere that originally they had different girls in mind, but then it was going to be like a different cast, but then they found the people, like whatever. And some of these people, I guess, were in a group beforehand and now, but yeah, basically it's all born out of this Mom Talk thing and these Utah women who are also like trying to keep up with like social media and modern age, like being like a woman versus their Mormon religion and how like that affects them as well. Yeah.
So who were the swingers? Was it anyone in the show besides Taylor? Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it was no one in the show besides Taylor. Taylor was the main girl. but it was her like best friends who are separate from the show, because I feel like at the very beginning Taylor talks about how Whitney and Macy Whitney and Macy and her like were super close, and they like kind of started off Mom Talk, and like they knew each other first. And then Taylor had a separate group of friends that were separate from Whitney and Macy, and then the rest of the girls in Mom Talk.
I see.
And those were the people that she ended up like swinging with. And
I see.
It was like, I think she said it was 4 couples. It was like her and her best friend to start. Then they bought another couple in, and then there was another couple who would like just watch, apparently.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy. And the way that this came out was, I don't exactly know what happened, but Taylor was fed up or something happened, and she just literally sat down, got on TikTok live. She has millions of followers and just was like, so here's what's been happening. We've all been swinging. I've fallen in love with my friend's husband. It's all blown up. Like we're all like, she just aired out all of their laundry on this TikTok live.
Because she has 4.5 million followers on TikTok. And I think what came out of it was like, I think people were asking why her and her husband, who I believe is named Tate, or her ex-husband at the time, were getting a divorce, and like why like friendships were breaking down, or why so many of them were getting divorced, because all the people who were a part of like the swinging scandal are now divorced. So I think that was like the thing. Like everybody was
like, why are you all getting divorced?
Yeah. And then she bought it out. And you know what? I just want to say, like, the one thing I didn't love about the show is like how demonizing it felt that she was a part of this, or how they were doing this. Let's keep in mind that these are people who were raised Mormon. So they were raised in this kind of, and I feel like we can relate to that. Like, they were raised in a place where you have to restrict your emotions, natural human emotions. You don't do certain things. You don't have sex till you get married. You're with one person for the rest of your life. So, you know, when you're repressed and you have some sort of like freedom, I think that's when things like that happen. And it's because like you're repressed, you can't do certain things, that you start to explore things like that. And I think that's a natural thing. Granted, it's at a larger scale than maybe other people would do, but it's like a natural kind of exploration, because they didn't get to do a lot of things. Like a lot of the girls on the show were like married at like 16, 18, 19, 20, having babies, like, you know, so
like teenagers having children. And I don't know why we haven't learned this by now, but the more you suppress something, the more that you tell people like, you're bad at, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, the more likely they are to do that. And not just like experiment a little bit with it like normal people would. It's like, it's been so repressed that when they try it, it's like on this huge blown up scale. And that's why like those parents who are so strict on their kids, it's like they're gonna rebel in a way that's so big and grand, versus if you just like let them try things and give them the freedom and space, it'll be at like a more healthy level. So it's when you just tell someone that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, it's just bound for something like huge like this to happen. And they all had millions of followers, so it blew up. And
here's my thing too, which I like wrote this down for like, because Taylor is like one of my big points, but I wrote this down, and the thing that people are missing is that these are consenting adults. Like all of these people were like at parties together. They got drunk, and they're all, it's not like, you know, like some of them were drunk or some of them were like, they were either not drunk and they decided to do it, or she talked about how they were like drinking and it just happened, blah blah. But then once it kept happening, these are consenting adults making decisions to do this with other adults, with their partners present, in person. So it's like no one's cheating, no one's like these are grown up. That's like the weird thing of villainizing Taylor so much, is like, why? Because she had like sex parties with her friends, with everyone consenting, and all the husband, like no one was cheating, no one was. So what's the big deal? And I think at one point she talked about like how, I guess, something happened where she like in a way stepped out, but how she described it, it didn't like, it's not to me, it did not seem like stepping out. Like, I guess one of the husbands like got super attached to her, and then I'm like,
someone started catching feelings.
Right.
Something happened with one of the husbands. Like, I don't really know.
Which I'm like, okay, like, because I feel like they weren't very clear on like exactly what happened.
Yeah, but I feel like that was maybe on purpose.
Right.
Like, but they just didn't give us many swinging details.
Exactly. But at the same time, I'm like, you guys all like decided to do this. You signed up for this. You got together. You did this. So like, I that part of like making her this like kind of like outlandish like Mormon person.
Yeah.
Like, no, she like they all decided to do this together. And the fact of the matter is like, yes, she did like make a live about it. But if you're a person in that like kind of, I think if you're in that situation and there's so much pressure on you and people are like, rumors are coming from everywhere and you want to set the record straight.
Yeah.
And I feel like people were at the same time trying to make her seem like when all this was happening that she was like the bad one in the situation on why all this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So she literally was like, yeah, no, like this is what happened.
Tell you what happened.
Yeah, this is the tea. This is what happened. Like,
which, I mean, I get like she shouldn't have maybe like went on live and shared everyone's personal details, but I'm like, the thing is too, you're doing this shocking thing with someone who has millions of followers.
Right.
Like, I just don't understand why people think like no one's ever gonna find out.
Yeah.
Like when someone dates a celebrity and then they like have a Tinder and like cheat on them, I'm like, you think they're not gonna find out you're dating a celeb? Like, I don't know. I just am kind of like. And also, Taylor's allowed to talk about her experience.
Exactly.
This happened to her, and she's allowed to speak to it and talk about it in any way that she wants to, because it's an experience that she lived, she went through, and she's allowed to talk about that.
That's my thing. Like, I get being upset at her for like talking about it on live because maybe you wanted to keep it private.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
If I'm going through something, and also she's never said any names.
Never.
He's never mentioned exactly who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that has come out is because other people have come out and said stuff about the situation. Other people in the couples have like made either little videos or talked about it, but like she herself has never said who it was, who she was involved with.
Yep.
So like if she's kind of just generally being like, this happened to me and I don't like that everyone's kind of making me seem like this, but we were all together on this, we all did this, so I don't get why I'm like being made the villain. Like, I think that's fair.
1000%.
I would absolutely have done the same thing.
Yeah. I just think the villain situation was weird.
Yeah.
The first episode was literally insane. There was the swinging situation.
Yeah.
Then she had a miscarriage. Then we find out Whitney's being, her husband's cheating on her and has been messaging these girls on Tinder. Then Taylor gets arrested. Then the first episode was nuts.
Which I need to talk about the arrest. I don't know, like, if everyone else what?
No, I just was just shaking my head.
I don't know if everyone else felt the same way. I think I watched some videos on TikTok and I was reading the comments to see if I was the only crazy one. But I'm like, this girl is describing that she was physically assaulted by this man.
Yep.
And granted, she said, I was drunk, but what I did was in response to what he did to me.
Yep.
She's peed herself because, one, she's drunk. She's scared.
Yeah.
So I'm confused why she's the one who got arrested.
And that's what I was confused about.
Okay, she got arrested, but this huge giant man who is like now saying, oh, like she did this, the girl has like apparently she had like scrapes on her or something. I don't remember if that's true, but but she was like, I was scared. He threw me up against the wall. Like I was hurt. Like, and then, yes, I was throwing things because he was scaring me and he did this to me.
Yeah. No, I had the exact same thought watching it. Like, they show the police cam.
Right.
And, like, she's obviously drunk and upset, but, like, she's like, he started attacking, like, he pushed me against a wall. So, yes, I was throwing stuff at him, but I was scared. I thought he was going to kill me.
Right.
Like I was actually afraid. He was screaming. He shoved me up against a wall.
Yeah.
Like, I was scared. And then the police was like, so we are going to have to arrest you. I was like, what?
And you know what? It made me feel the same way, which obviously this is like same but very different, obviously, because Gabby Petito is no longer with us. But
yeah,
it gave me the same feeling of like, this woman looks scared. Yes, maybe she's doing some sort of reactive abuse.
Yes.
But like, she's scared. She's in a bad situation. Like, why are we now like
blaming her?
Yeah.
Because she's like throwing chairs. Yes, maybe we shouldn't throw chairs at our partner, but that wasn't out of nowhere.
Right.
That wasn't unprovoked. Like, she was scared and didn't know what else to do, and was also drunk and like.
And like, also the whole thing with like her and Dakota, where he's like sober and he's upset that she's like wasn't at the time.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why they were getting in a fight, because she was drunk, whatever. Like, yeah, like, don't scream and yell at me about this one thing. And like, you're scaring me. You're now pushing me up against like, what?
Yeah.
So that thing I didn't like either, because then the girls are commenting on how she's been arrested and she has this scandal.
It became like well, you were arrested, you went to jail, and like, because she was protecting herself. Like,
right. I'm like, okay, first of all, don't talk about like one of the lowest moments in my life. Second of all, I was in a scary situation. Also, the person who called the cops said, it sounds like this woman is being attacked or whatever. Like, she's screaming, like they're fighting. She's screaming, like, can somebody come and help?
I'm afraid she's being hurt, or like someone's getting hurt.
So, like, I still to this day do not understand like why she was arrested. Maybe there was more things, but it like genuinely, even everybody in the comments of like the videos I was watching was like, this sounds like reactive abuse. She's trying to protect herself.
I'm glad other people noticed that, because I watched it when they were like, we're arresting you now. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was literally
why
like,
her?
Why is this man not being arrested? And I understand that men and women can both be abusive.
1000%.
This giant fucking, he's huge compared to her.
He's like twice as tall as her.
Like, yeah.
I just don't know. And my thing is, maybe if they were causing disturbances, she was drunk, they both did stuff. Arrest both of them.
Right, exactly.
Arrest both of them.
Why is this man like not?
That's weird.
Yeah, no,
that was weird to me. I didn't like that very much.
I thought about that too, because I was like, okay, like, why is she the only one?
Yeah.
Because if he's saying she was doing this, she's saying he was doing this, then arrest both of them.
Yes, exactly. That was my thing. When they said that, I was like, oh, then he's about to get arrested.
Right.
No, don't arrest him at all. Just her. I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah, and the reason why it reminded me of Gabby Petito is because the cops are talking to whatever the fuck his stupid name was, talking to him, joking around with him, having a lighthearted conversation with him, and then they're talking to Gabby, who's like clearly visibly upset. She's crying, she's upset, she like doesn't know what's going on. And it's the same thing. They're talking to Dakota, like chopping it up with him.
Yeah, it's giving like crying. Boys club, like fucking like misogyny, like it's just gross.
Yeah,
the whole situation icked me out. I was like,
I didn't like that.
This is not okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
So yeah, that was an issue for me. I think if we're just on the Taylor train, like just speaking about her throughout the show, like their relationship, like I just cannot imagine being in a relationship with someone and scream fighting at them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, can you imagine always being in a huge knockout, drag down, bawling your eyes out fight with your partner? The person who's the father of the child that is in your stomach currently. You're scream fighting at each other. And I respect her so much. Like, throughout the show, she had all this pressure, her parents being like, you have to get married, you're pregnant, the church. And she's like, no, I don't care that I'm pregnant. I'm not ready to marry this person. And I'm not going to marry him just because I'm pregnant. Because I'm not ready to get married. So I'm not marrying this person just because he knocked me up.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. That was like one of my things too. Like, this woman has just gotten out of a divorce. Like, I think she literally said it was like, what, 3 months or something?
Yeah, that was also so shocking. She was like, yeah, so I've been out of that relationship now 3 months. The divorce has been final 1 month, and this is my boyfriend. I was like, oh, Lord.
First of all, just got out of this relationship. She's set boundaries at the beginning saying, I do not want to get married. Like, I'm not ready. And maybe in the future we can, but I am not ready right now. My biggest problem with her and Dakota is Dakota does not respect her boundaries.
Nope.
All he cares about is himself.
Yep.
Whether he's going to be married, he's getting sober. He wants her to be sober.
Yes.
What she's doing, how it reflects on their relationship. And I genuinely don't think in any way did he care about her. He only cares about how he is viewed in her eyes.
Yep.
Because every time they have a fight, she's like, okay, you're saying this stuff about me, but you're not reflecting on like how you're affecting me.
Yes.
Or like how things you do affect me as well. You're only talking about what I'm doing, but you're not talking about like how I've addressed things with you. And like you have no like thoughts or anything like that, but you want to say everything that I'm doing to you.
Yeah.
Like when I told you I was not ready to be married,
and you keep pushing, and the thing is, that's okay to be like, I want to get married, I love you, but when your partner's saying, I'm not there yet, I'm not ready, you stop pushing it.
Exactly.
You say, what can I do to help? What can I do to clear it up? And clearly watching it, like, they shouldn't have been together. They absolutely should not have been together. She was not over the situation with what happened with that girl beforehand. Like, it just shouldn't have happened. But when your partner sets a boundary, you respect that. And I also had an issue with like the sober thing because like Taylor's her own person.
Right.
So I don't think it's fair to like expect your partner to like, Taylor, she likes to drink and get drunk, and she can do it in a way that's like healthy and not, she's not an addict in that way. And you are, and you have a separate relationship with alcohol, but to like get into a relationship with someone that drinks and has a different relationship with it, and to be like, now you have to be sober too. You can't drink either. It's like, no, she can. You have your own journey with that, and it's great to have the support of like the people you love, but I don't like him, having this sober journey and then expecting everyone around him to be sober suddenly now when he's known Taylor. He knows her. That's not part of her journey. So to just expect that of her is weird.
Yeah, I fully agree. It reminded me of Kim and Kanye, where that one episode where Kanye is talking about how he doesn't want Kim to do certain things. She can't wear certain outfits anymore. Yep. She has to be different. And Kim is like, I understand that you are on a journey, and I love and respect you that you are on that journey, but I'm on a different one.
Yep.
And I'm allowed to do the things that I want to be and be like, do and be my own person. Yep. And that is what I thought about the whole time. I'm like, hey, first of all, this person has set boundaries with you, told you that they enjoy drinking. So if you're seeing that, okay, maybe this is not something that I want or I agree with, then why are you still like trying to force this relationship to happen? Yes. And also like the fact that like, I guess at the time she was like a little bit like away from the church, and she was trying to figure out like what that meant to her, like how she felt. And he's like, I want to be married in the church. Like, I want to be going to church with our kids. Like, blah, blah.
There seemed to be a definite misalignment in they just very clearly should not have been together. And I'm sure you saw the TikTok, but like apparently they're broken up now, and I
genuinely hope they are broken up, not because like I want Taylor like to be like a single mom, but I feel like she is doing so much. I feel like throughout the show, it seems like she's doing so much self-reflection and growing, and he's keeping her down.
Yeah, fully.
He's like the one thing in her life that is like, she's like this, and she keeps going, like, because she has to go back and deal with his emotions, his feelings, fighting with him. Meanwhile, she's trying to become a better person. She's reflecting on all these things throughout the show. And she shows how she is growing, and he keeps bringing her back to this point of like sadness, depression, like, oh my God, like literally
fully
the entire time. So I don't
overall know how I feel about Taylor. Like you said, I think she's really growing, and I think she got like a lot of the not the slack, but like she got a lot of like heat. She was kind of the face of it, and especially the swinger situation. She was arrested, like she had all these things happen, and I felt like she got a lot of heat, and I was just like, I don't know, like I don't think she should have just taken the downfall for all of these things.
Thank you so much, because that was one of the points I wrote down. throughout the show, she's like apologizing for a lot of things, and like she's apologizing to Whitney when they had that conversation.
Yep.
She's apologizing to Dakota. She's apologizing for this, and I love the fact that she can take accountability.
Yes.
However, some of the things I don't feel like she needed to like hold
take
herself.
Sole accountability.
Exactly. I think she's like allowing them to put too much stuff on her when it's like she really only has a part in it.
Yeah, she wasn't the only one partaking in this or responsible for this.
Exactly.
For sure.
And my thing too is like also throughout the show, they're talking about like how is Taylor gonna get back to Mom Talk? How is Taylor gonna like redeem herself for us? My fucking thing is, I'm sorry. You like respectfully, because I love the rest of the girls except for like one, but like
we'll get into that.
Right. I love the rest of the girls, but respectfully, you bitches would not have a fucking career currently if this bitch did not put you on the map.
For sure. Would we have the show if the swingers, just that simple fact, the show wouldn't have even existed if she hadn't have gone on live and told everyone about the swinger situation.
Right. And also, she is the creator of Mom Talk.
Yes.
She started doing the videos.
Yep.
She bought her friends, and she literally talks about it at the beginning of the show. They all agree that it started with Taylor. She like was like this person who bought all these people in. They all became friends, and then they started making videos together.
Yep.
I'm fucking sorry if I'm the creator of something. Yeah, you bitches are letting me back no matter what. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Like, I would hold myself accountable and be like, hey, I get that this is causing controversy, but guess what? It's putting us on the fucking map. We have a show now.
Like, you're welcome. Like, all of you, you're welcome.
The reason why you guys are able to make money off this one thing is because this girl paved the way for you, then bought you in and was like, let's do this.
Fully.
So I don't get why she has to keep on apologizing and being like, I want to make myself better for Mom Talk. I fucking started this shit. I'm so fucking sorry.
Yeah,
like,
fully.
Go fuck yourself.
If I say Mom Talk's done, it's done because I started it.
Like, also my thing too is like, they keep being like, Taylor has like an alpha personality, but watching it, I did not see that.
I didn't get that vibe ever.
Yeah, I did not see that. In fact, to me, watching the show the entire time, it felt like she did not give a fuck about being the head Mom Talk girl.
Did she ever say, like, I'm the head of Mom Talk? No, I'm the lead girl. I'm the alpha. I'm all these bitches. I'm never. I'm the ringleader. Never once.
Always like, I want to get back and I want to be great for Mom Talk, but she's never been like, I'm the leader. I'm in charge. The only person who consistently keeps being like, I started it, I'm the leader, blah, blah, is Whitney, who frankly is not up to par with.
No,
I just don't understand that.
Which we have to really get into Whitney now.
We have to get into Whitney. And also, I want to say one last thing about Taylor. I respect that girl down. Yeah. She's like a mom.
Period.
She's like doing her thing. And I genuinely think when I first started watching it, I would have a different like view on her.
Same.
I really thought I was not going to like her.
Same.
But to me, like, she's like reflecting, growing, like I said, and you can see this person having complete character development, becoming a better person, and realizing like, hey, like maybe I did outlandish stuff, but I'm still like me and I can still grow and change from that. Yeah. And also, I don't think she should have been demonized for the stuff she did either. So
fully.
Yeah.
1000%. I feel the same way about Taylor. I'm not like love her so much, but I just think she gets a lot of bad rap, and I don't. Yeah, I kind of like her. I mean, I just she just seems so. It's crazy to say unproblematic, but like within Mom Talk, she seemed very unproblematic, and
she's literally just trying to become a better person the whole time, and also having a fucking baby.
Yes.
And also, I want to say the one thing too is that Dakota fighting with her while she's pregnant.
That's like literally psycho.
Like
that's psycho.
Like when they're in the bed talking, she's like, I'm tired.
Literally days before she's giving birth, she's like, I'm just sick of crying. I don't have the energy. Literally. I'm about to give birth, and he's like coming in and screaming and arguing with her, and like,
Like,
horrible. I don't like him.
Like, everyone leave Taylor alone. Like, I genuinely like her. That's a real fucking bitch. Like, someone who can talk about their problems on camera, talk about things that maybe they feel bad about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love it. Also, her mom, psycho.
Her mom is like kind of mean to her.
So mean. She was like saying the most shocking thing. She was like, I can't believe you did that. That's so stupid. You need to get your act. Like, I was like, oh my God.
She literally called her stupid. She's like,
she
Taylor,
said, you're
so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot put up with you anymore. My mom, no matter how disappointed in me, would never call me stupid.
Never in a million years would my parents say, you're stupid. That's like, crazy.
I can't do this with you anymore. Then don't have a fucking kid.
Yeah, that's what you think they're gonna be perfect all the time? Like fucking Leanne, lay off. Dakota, fuck you.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
On to Whitney.
My biggest issue with Whitney is I hate your hair and makeup today. I hate when people like do something terrible to everyone and do something shocking.
Yes.
And then they like expect everyone to come running after you and oh my God, Whitney, are you okay? Whitney, what's going like she left the group chat, which if you know, we're all young, we have phones. When you leave a group chat, that's saying fuck you to everyone in the group chat. That is a time when you're like, I am done. I don't want anyone to talk to me. This is like, it's like doing this. It's like a big fuck you middle finger to everyone involved. I wouldn't have reached out to her either.
No.
If she left the group chat, I'd be like, okay, well, she hates all of us and doesn't want any of us to speak to her ever again. And then she was like, why didn't anyone reach out? No one came after me. Like, you fucking psycho.
Girl, that was my biggest thing too. Like, first of all, she keeps saying that she did not leave the group chat for attention. You quite literally did, because
you could have just muted it.
Because all you talked about after leaving the group chat is like, why did nobody reach out to me? I would have never. So yes, you did leave for attention because you wanted people to come. And also my biggest thing is I fucking hate when people do stuff to you and then they cry about what they've done or what you haven't done. Don't fucking like be mean to me. Don't say fucked up shit about me. Don't go behind my back and talk shit to all the other girls about every other girl and then cry when you get confronted. You're not going to make me seem like the bad guy.
No, now you have to be like, it's okay. No, you were the mean one. You were mean to me. I don't need to like caretake and all of a sudden like I've literally learned that in therapy. Like you just be when you're confronting someone and they suddenly are like, oh my God, I feel awful. You're not supposed to. It's okay. Like you don't have to get in the caretaker role. Like, and like you should feel bad, but it's not my job to make you feel better now.
And like when they're in the closet and Demi comes in and it's like, are you guys fucking crazy? Like, do you not see what this girl's doing? She said all this shit about everyone, did all this shit to everyone. And yes, I also agree with Demi that it seems like she's going to other people, talking about them, using them to move around information. And then when she doesn't need them anymore, she moves on. Because it's the same thing. Like, they had this lunch when she got back from Hawaii. She was friends with Taylor. All of a sudden, she's not friends with Taylor.
Suddenly.
She wants to be cool with Michaela. Then she's not cool with Michaela. Like,
also, like, the whole situation with her and Macy, like, not going to her best friend's launch party. And she was like, I've been working on this for over 2 years. This is Whitney is my best friend and knows how much this means to me. Doesn't show up. Then comes to Michaela's birthday party when they were literally like, why are you here? Michaela fucking hates you. Why are you here? Like, I was dead. I was so dying. Funny. I loved Demi. She's hilarious. Literally. They were like, what? She doesn't like you. I was like,
Demi and Jess.
Oh, I love Jess.
They're my two favorite girls because they're fucking real.
They're so real.
And like, my thing too is I also wrote that down. Like, first of all, you not going to your best friend's event because you needed space. Crazy. And she did the same thing at her fucking birthday dinner. When you did it at my birthday dinner.
You did it with sucking dick and cock.
No, like she literally did the same fucking thing at her birthday dinner.
Yep.
Made it about her, is crying, had to go in the bathroom when literally Taylor is like, sometimes when things happen, you just have to fucking move on, scrape some dirt on it and move on, because it isn't about you.
At your friend's birthday dinner, it's not about you. At your friend's launch party, it's not about you. And I'm all for self-care, for setting boundaries, but in this life, sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do because we care about someone else.
If my best friend is having an event and I'm in a fight with everyone else, I don't give a fuck. My best friend that I've seen prototypes of this product for, I've bounced off ideas. You've walked with me through this process. You're not at my event.
A business, is launching that business. No,
you're not at my event. We're done.
No, fully. Like, I love that they were like, if she's not here by the countdown, we're all unfollowing her. And then they counted down and all said, boop, unfollow.
And my thing too is,
I was like, yes.
No, it was incredible. And my thing too is like, my biggest thing is like, Whitney is like over the top, like whatever. First of all, who fucking cares? Like, okay, you have a emotional problem. That's your tea. Like, granted, I will be there for you, but to some extent, you can't just be like, oh my God, I'm like, and then do shitty things to people and expect everyone to be like, because you're unstable. No, I'm so sorry. Second, like, her going to Michaela's birthday is the most selfish fucking thing she could ever do. Fully. You know that you're in a fight with everyone. You've got out of the group chat. None of these people like you. You know, this one girl whose birthday it is doesn't like you. You go to her birthday party and once again you make it about you because you pull Macy aside at the birthday party. That's not the place to fucking do that. Call her separately.
Yes.
And maybe meet her at a different place or whatever.
Go to lunch, sit down for coffee, soda or whatever the fuck they drink.
Girl, don't do shit at people's birthdays. It's not about you. It's literally not about you.
Like, and then Michaela was like, that ruined my birthday. Quite literally ruined it.
And she's like, why are you like here? Like, why are you sitting next to me? She's like trying to converse with her. Clearly she doesn't want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay. Like,
that was, she was like, thanks. Like, what the literal fuck? It's so crazy. Also, the RSV video where, like, I just, like, if you guys, this video of her being like, and then her baby is dying in the hospital bed. I'm like, she was like, I just wanted to raise awareness and let people know that they were doing better. I'm like,
girl, here's the problem with that. What? When she's talking about, I'm upset, she was upset with Taylor because Taylor was getting forgiveness, which, one, not Taylor's fault or problem that people are deciding to forgive her.
Yes.
Two, once again, this is a situation would happen with consenting adults.
Yes.
This situation you did with your sick child, your child cannot consent to being in your video.
Nope.
Whether or not they want to have this big thing that went on in
this
their
horrible
lives.
Medical thing where they almost died.
On the internet, and you're making light of it dancing. Like, I'm
seeing the video, like, crazy.
It was ridiculous. It was literally ridiculous.
Like dancing and your kid is, it was insane behavior. And then be like, the internet didn't forgive me like it forgave Taylor. That's not fair. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
And my thing is, like, reflecting on the entire show, Whitney, I think, is maybe either the oldest or second oldest. Maybe Jess is a little bit older. I don't remember.
Yeah, no clue.
But Whitney is 30 years old.
A grown up.
Half of these girls are like super young. Like, I think one of them literally turned 21. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like freshly 21.
Like Layla, I think, is like freshly 21. And like all of them are so young. Or like maybe she's 22, something like that. But they're so young. Then there's this 30-year-old woman. Which there's nothing wrong with being 30. But at that point, you should be more mature at that age. Manipulating the rest of these young girls.
That's
and
crazy.
Wondering why people don't like her.
Literally. Like, it's also like, when you're 30, are you not like, do you not have other things going on? Why are you stirring up drama within these 20-year-old girls? Like, it's just weird. And you're just weird.
Yeah, literally the whole thing where she said, oh, she called you white trash. She said you're too Mormon. why are you like bringing that info? She literally clearly is the type of person who stores information to then go use it when she feels like she's at a disadvantage.
For sure.
And I think she's really disgusting for that. And one thing too that stood out to me is like the whole Jen and Zach situation, which I definitely like want to talk about. But she said that, I guess she was talking with her husband who like literally is like filling her in, right? Filling her in on like what happened in Vegas. And she's like saying, oh, I can understand where Zach is coming from. He quite literally is abusing and manipulating his wife. And you're saying that you can understand where he's coming from.
There's no seeing Zach's side. There's no like, let's hear Zach out. Like, be telling someone that you're gonna divorce them because they went to a show with male dancers is crazy.
Just the whole like
crazy. Like this man we watched him abuse her, like fully abuse her, and I just like can't believe they're still together. And like, first of all, this man, did we hear the mention that he was given a large sum of money by his family to pay for medical school that he gambled away? No more money. So Jen, now the breadwinner, he doesn't work. He's in med school. She's paying for not only their entire life, their kids, their house, everything they do, his medical school. He's going to tell her that she can't go to this event that she had no idea about, which is a part of a television show that she's on because she's making their family money. And he's going to sit in a casino and gamble away the money that she gave him to gamble. And then say, you're not allowed to do this. I'm divorcing you. You're a disgusting human being. You're filthy. You're disgusting. Like, I can't believe you have zero morals and values. Like, and then watching her be so uncomfortable the whole time. She literally walked into the show, met some of the guys, and then left.
And that is why when Whitney said that, I was like, you're 100% disgusting. Like a horrible fucking person. Yeah. And like one more thing before we get into Jen and Zach, because I have lots of feelings about them. The fruity cereal thing, that was so fucked up. I don't care if you think that's a fucking joke. This woman told you something in confidence that you know her husband did not want her to talk about. She told you because she thought you were her friend. And then you make a joke out of it in front of all the other girls.
In front of everyone. Not only in front of everyone on
national television.
And then when she was like upset that you did that, Whitney started crying. Whitney started crying. Girl. Whitney started crying and was despicable. Like, I can't believe that she did that. I can't believe she reacted that way. Like, I was just like, I don't know. Despicable. I don't like when people like jump on a. Is that? Oh, no, I don't like when people jump on a bandwagon of like, I don't know, a character in a show is portrayed a certain way and then they all of a sudden start getting hate. So I tried to be very like. I just tried to give some grace to her because I'm like, we don't know the full story. Like sometimes they paint someone in a certain light, but like by the end, I was like, no, Whitney, you're fucking awful. You're horrible.
I'm so sorry to say this. She's genuinely a bitch, and I could never be friends with someone like that because she's literally actively trying to split people up in the group and then control them to be like, I'm the leader. I don't know if I ever want to go back, but girl, you're trying to destroy these people and you're like, oh, I like fuck you, like literally fuck you, like literally, oh, you make fun of me and then you're mad that I'm upset at you. Fuck you, like I'm so sorry.
Also, I don't know if you noticed at the end, but she was like, and so I finally decided that I'm done with mom talk. I'm like, girl, no, no one's inviting you to anything. Everyone hates you. You've been excommunicated from mom talk. You're not. I'm deciding that I'm now done with mom talk. I was like, you've been cut out of mom talk.
And she said, I'm stepping down. You were never the leader in the first place. Like literally, girl, like they don't want to be friends with you because you've done despicable shit to them. I'm so sorry. Like,
you're not stepping down. You're not quitting. Like, I'm deciding to go. Like, what? And also the like her gay husband, which is like a whole other thing with the messaging on Tinder and like She was like, well, he never met up with any of these ladies. Never. He just sent them nudes and messaged them. I was like, right.
For sure. Yeah.
Right.
And then when she gets mad, like, last thing, but when she gets mad that Taylor also mentioned that she was going through something, I think that is valid. Like, they're in a circle of girls. They have this meeting.
They're catching up. They haven't hung out in so long.
Right. They're talking about one thing. And then Taylor's like, sometimes people, when they don't know what to say, they say something to try and sympathize and be like, oh, yeah, I also went through something. So you can all feel kind of close. And it's clear she didn't do it out of malicious intent.
No.
She's just being like, I totally get it. Like, I also was going through something. I had a miscarriage. Then she's fucking mad at her for saying that she had a miscarriage because all the attention's not on her.
Yes. And also, like, it was very clear that Whitney was given the space. Right. She told her tea. Everyone was around her. Everyone talked about it fully, like, fleshed it out. It wasn't like she was like, so Zach was on Tinder and Taylor was like, oh, well, actually, I had a miscarriage.
Exactly.
So, like, it was very clear she had the space to talk about it, cry about it. They all were there for her, gave her advice. And then Taylor, like, the conversation moved on. And then she shared that.
Exactly.
And then Whitney's mad.
Girl.
Whitney's mad all of a sudden.
But yeah, I she's despicable, and I like
disgusting.
I never want to like if she never is back on the show, I would not care.
I know when she was like, I'm done with mom talk. I'm like, please don't be in season 2.
I
don't even literally want to see her anymore.
I genuinely hope she's not, because I've seen girls like that in my life.
I think that's the thing. It's just like, I know people like this, and they're the worst people ever.
And they cause problems and they hurt you, and then nobody ever holds them accountable because they love to cry, make it about them.
Yeah.
And but on to Jen and Zach.
Oh dear Lord.
Everything you said about Jen and Zach is exactly what I felt like. First of all, they're Mormon. They're not supposed to, and I think it was either Demi or Jess who said this, but they're not supposed to gamble.
No.
You're doing something you're not allowed to do with money I gave you.
Yep.
I'm supporting our kids. I'm putting you through fucking school, bitch. And you're telling me I'm disgusting. I'm going to take the kids. I don't want to be married to you. We're getting a divorce. Fuck you.
Literally.
We're done.
Literally.
We're
also,
done.
She's the sole provider.
Right.
Gives you all the money that you have, is paying for your medical school, takes care of your children. And you're going to have the nerve to tell her what to do.
Absolutely.
Tell her what she can and can't do, who she can and can't hang out with. And if she does, you're divorcing her.
Yeah.
Also, you look like, he looks like a naked mole rat. I'm sorry. Like, you're going to have the audacity. Jen is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. He looks like a naked mole rat. Like, I'm sorry. No.
I don't think, truthfully and honestly, I don't think any of their husbands are hot except for Brett, who's...
Which one's Brett?
Demi's husband, the older guy.
The tall one?
Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah.
Macy's husband, I think, is cute. And...
Yeah.
He's, like, taller, like, the dark hair, little mustache.
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Cute. Mm-hmm. But all the other ones, I'm like Dakota's not cute to me.
Connor, no.
And I'm a girl who loves a white man.
You do.
And I love a dark hair, blue eyes.
Tall.
So sorry. I don't get it.
It just doesn't do it.
But yeah, no, like, also my thing is like, how dare you threaten our marriage? How dare you tell me that you're going to be done? And then I think also at some other point of like them filming, like he jokes about, oh, I'm sure it'll be hard for you to like raise
these kids by yourself.
Bitch, yeah, I'm sure it'll be hard for you because once I leave you,
no money,
you have no money.
Who's paying for medical school? You gambled all the money away, and I'm not paying for it. So who's paying for medical school, babe?
I'm sure it'll be hard for you.
Yeah. I think I'll be just fine because I have lots and lots of money. So
genuinely, watching this go down on camera,
it was really bad.
Is fucking brutal. It was disgusting.
Yeah,
and
it was horrible to watch. Yeah.
No, like literally. And the girls, like when they have that meeting and she's finally back, everything they said, and I understand it's hard for her to hear.
Yes.
But everything they said is so true.
Yeah, I'm so glad Demi was like, fuck that. Like,
no.
What he did to you was not okay. This is not your fault. There's nothing to feel bad about. Like,
yeah.
I'm so glad they all kept it real and told her that because, like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Like and I know it's like not cultural, but like Mormons and like that's kind of and it weirded me out too when they had the baby blessing and he didn't want any of the other girls there. And then it was like only the men can pray over the baby. I was just like, this is gross and I hate him. I hate him. And like the fact that Jess had like a flask at the party and Jen was like, oh my, you can't have that here. Like with Zach, he's going to divorce me. I'm just like, why are we married?
Here's the thing too with the flask situation, which Jess talked about later, that they had gone to Jen's house or to the parents' house, and then they all planned they were going to go to a bar after. So he had thought, oh, I'm gonna pregame before we go to the bar, because Jess is the one out of all of them who is not currently Mormon. She grew up Mormon, was raised Mormon, and decided it's not for her, which very valid. But they decided to pregame because the husband was like, okay, if I go out, the drinks are gonna be $15. I don't want to spend $15, so I'm just gonna drink here.
Literally us all the time. We get it.
Girl.
We get it. It's expensive out there.
Yeah. So I'm like, I totally understand that they're super like religious, but not everybody's the same as you. And I just think it's like not fair to be like, oh, you have to be like super Mormon and all that stuff. And also that conversation where Whitney said that, Demi said that Jen was too Mormon. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't understand why you're mad about being told you're too Mormon when you hold being Mormon to a pedestal. Throughout the show, you're so happy that you're like this Mormon girly. And then you also disinvite people who you feel like aren't Mormon enough to be at your party. So yeah, you are super Mormon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing if that's how you want to be. But like,
no, it was said as a negative. And I'm just like, if someone, like, I personally don't want to be friends with someone who's like super Mormon, but I'm not going to be friends with them and then be like, you're just too Mormon for me. Like, go, if you're going to do that, like, go live your life. It's just maybe not for me, but I don't know, to be mad at someone because they're like religious, like, I don't know.
No, I mean, like, Jen being mad that she said that she's too Mormon. No, you like, girl, you are super Mormon.
You didn't invite people because
you're super Mormon, babe.
Yeah.
You're literally
like, as if it's a bad thing, and like also you are.
Yeah, you literally are. Like,
she didn't call you a fucking she said you're Mormon. Just
super Mormon, which I'm like,
and yeah, like you said, they hold that in such like, we're Mormon and we do this and we hold all these values because we're Mormon. And then someone's like, hey, you're pretty Mormon, and they're like, oh. And
they made it a point throughout the show to be like, these girls are the sinners and these are the saints. Yeah, bitch, like, you are like,
it's quite, these ones are more religious and hold like why stick to the rules more, and these don't as much.
Yeah, like, so like, why are you mad that she called you super Mormon? You are, you literally are.
So who said this about Jen?
So Whitney at the party where they had the box said that Demi said to Whitney that Jen is like too Mormon, and like
which is like, I mean, they weren't invited. They were not only not invited, they were disinvited to the baby blessing. So like, I would be pissed too if I were Demi. I'd be like, yeah, she's just like super Mormon.
Yeah.
So like,
and then I was just like, okay.
Yeah, like why are you mad at that? You get off by being super Mormon anyway. Like, it's just weird behavior.
And also, my thing with Jen and Zach is like, first of all, we're in a different state. Don't like have me like, now I'm like scared. We're in a different state. You're not staying with me. Now I have to go to you at 2 a.m. This is where I am. Either you come here now or we're not talking.
Yep.
And him being like, throughout the entire series, he's like, I don't care about like you wanting to be on Mom Talk. I don't care if you have to leave the girls. I don't want you hanging out with them. Bitch, this is how we're making our fucking money. What do you mean you don't care? You don't want me to be a part of Mom Talk. You don't want me to.
Yeah.
This is how I'm making our money.
Literally, when they were having that conversation in New York, and she was like, but what about like, what am I going to do with Mom Talk? Like, all of my business opportunities are there. He was like, I quite literally don't care.
Yeah. And
I was like you don't care. This is why you have money. This is why you can actually go to medical school, by the way.
Right.
Because you gambled all the money away that you had for medical school. So if she doesn't do mom talk, who's paying for medical school, you freak?
And he says they're not that significant. That's the only way you are making fucking money. Yeah.
So if they're not that significant, who's paying for your medical school, Zach?
And also my thing too is like, you want to go to medical school in New York City, one of the most expensive cities, and you want the breadwinner to completely cut these people out of her lives and not do that anymore. So how are we going to survive in New York City? I just want to know.
Also, medical school is not a year. It's not like we just need to move here for a year. We'll get you back to mom talk. You can still come back. It's like, no, we need to uproot our lives for 12 years while I do this little like medical school. And then like, no.
And that's my problem too. Like it's not like he's like giving her a choice. He's saying, no, you're not doing this.
And I'm hearing the concerns you're voicing, but I simply don't care.
Yeah. He's like
what?
We're not. Oh, he's like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. I'm so sorry that you're upset, but I don't want to do this and I don't want to be a part of this. So we're done.
Zach is like, out of everyone, I'm like, he's the craziest. He's the worst person on the whole show.
Yeah.
Forget Dakota, forget Taylor, forget Whitney. Zach is the worst person.
Yeah. And I think like what I made a comparison in my notes that I think genuinely if Taylor had married Dakota, it would literally be, and she even said this, it would be the same thing as Jen being married to Zach.
Fully. I also like Jen being like, Zach loves me too much.
No.
He cares too much. That's why he's doing this. I'm like, this girl has just been like brainwashed by the church. She's been brainwashed by the whole Mormon culture. She's been brainwashed by this guy. And like, I find the whole thing disgusting. I find it disgusting.
And I think even after the fact, she went on a podcast with some of the other girls, and they talked about how they're still like not really very close with Whitney, which thank fucking God.
Right.
And then she talked about how this really taught her and Zach that they needed to do different things in their relationship, repair it, and like become better. But I genuinely don't think like after a man spoke to me like that, after I'm medical school is thousands of dollars,
if not hundreds of thousands.
I'm putting our family on the line to provide for you.
Yep.
How dare you speak to me like that? How dare you?
I would never. If someone sent me the text messages that Zach sent Jen, I would never speak to them ever again. Like, done. We're not talking it out. I'm not hearing you out. Come to this bar and that's it. No. I'm never speaking to you. I don't care if we're married. I don't care if we have kids together. You don't talk to me like that.
And I'm
done. Period.
I'm giving you money to do something you're not allowed to do. I'm giving you the money to do something that we're not supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be these Mormon people. Like, we're not allowed to do that. I'm giving you money to do that, and you still treat me like that.
Yes.
No, we're done.
Also, like, him being like, we're Mormon. You don't need to be at a strip club, but I'm going to sit here and gamble. You fucking psychopath.
No,
That's also against the Mormon religion.
Exactly.
You freak. I don't even understand how these people, like, in their brain, they're like, this is an okay thing that I can do.
Yeah.
Because it is actually the most hypocritical thing. And it's not like you have to, like, sit and critically think about this to, like, understand how psycho what you're doing is.
Exactly. I literally can't. It was like the most heartbreaking thing to watch.
It was that was the worst part of the show. I was like, Zach is horrible. I hate this whole situation. This is terrible. Like, no.
Yeah. It was heartbreaking because you can see this girl, and what I said too, like in my notes, was that Jen is clearly like trying to be this modern woman, which is what mom talk is all about. Being moms, but Mormon, and like showing people that you can be different, you can evolve, you can like be Mormon and still do this stuff. And she's clearly trying to be her own person and be this elevated version of herself. And he keeps, just like Dakota, keeps bringing her back to this place where she has to do this, she has to be like this. And she's like clearly like suffering. Like she can't even hang out with her friends.
No.
All she has is like her husband. she can't hang out with her friends because he's like, I don't want you with these people.
Crazy.
It's like, that was like probably the most upsetting part of the show, watching this woman like have to like realize, okay, do I go through this forever for my family, or do I have to like figure out what to do now?
Yeah.
So
I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also like the whole like Mormon thing, which we have like an interesting perspective because we came from religion, not Mormonism, but like something for me that I struggled with during the show is like, I love that they're trying to be like progressive and break out of this like mold. But for me, it's like the Mormon church is so like harmful because of these things and because of these ideals that they're so hard trying to like uphold and force people to do. And it's like, I just have a hard time like with these women being like, we want to be a part of this thing that's caused so much damage and has all of these like horrible rules, but we're just like not going to follow some of them. That just kind of weirds me out a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of my issue too with religion is like, if I were to be a part of it, I would be kind of like breaking the mold, which is fine. But like, I don't know. I don't know that I would be able to like tie myself to being Mormon when they do uphold such things that I disagree with fundamentally. And like, I don't know. That's kind of something I struggled with, hearing them be like, we're progressive Mormons, but you're still Mormons and you're still like, you go to church every Sunday. The book that you're living your life based on is racist. It's homophobic. It's all of these horrible, terrible things. And like, I have a hard time with being a progressive Mormon.
Which that's one of the reasons why I was surprised that Layla was Mormon, because she's a black woman.
Yes.
Which I love Layla. I thought she was so cute. Like just so like
her little
airy,
funeral
like,
party because she got a divorce. It was adorable.
She was incredible, and I can't wait to see more of her if they do a second season. But yeah, like I understand the exact same thing because like I think what came down to me originally leaving the church was that I was like, okay, like if I wanted to be a pastor, or if I wanted to be like on a platform, like I would have to then say I align myself with all these things and people are viewing me that way. And if I don't do some of these things, I'm not doing some of these things, but still people see me as this person who's aligned with that. And there are things like in the church that I don't necessarily agree with. And American, like traditional Christianity, there are things that I'm like, that is not okay. So I felt the same way too, because it's like, I think with religion sometimes, and it's hard because sometimes it's like you have to be all in, but at the same time, it is good that you are like trying to change things because then it grows and it becomes better. But at the same time, like, is it ever going to change? Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm not saying they're wrong. This is right. That's just also something I struggled with being a part of the church, especially like when the pandemic started happening. Like I was still very much in the church, but seeing them be so anti-vax, seeing them be so anti-Black Lives Matter, those were just kind of the things happening at the time. Seeing them be so pro-Trump, I was just having a hard time being like, I'm a Christian, I'm a part of this when it's causing so much harm to so many people, and it's aligned itself so much with like these horrible racist, homophobic, sexist things. Like, how can it would be cool to be a part of it still and be like, I'm a pioneer. I want to make some changes, but it's like, how do you balance that with also like not tying yourself with this horrible institution that's causing so many people so much harm?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that also comes down to like what church you go to and stuff like that, because
for sure.
I mean, I started going to church now, which is crazy, but and the church that I go to, I've been really surprised about some of the things they're saying, like really being like, we're not telling you to do this, we're like, and it's refreshing, and I've never heard that in a church. But I think with Mormonism it's quite different because you have to do this.
If you
have
don't
to be this way,
they excommunicate you. You're not allowed to be a part of the church anymore if you don't follow these rules. So we definitely have a little bit we weren't a part of like something that strict. Like if we had done something, they wouldn't have like kicked us out or like never spoken to us again.
Yeah,
it was a little on a less intense scale.
Yeah.
But
it's like excommunication in a different way in terms of
yes,
you don't have any more friends and a family in this church anymore.
Yes.
Because you've decided to step out and be different or speak up.
Mm-hmm.
But them quite literally, you can't go back into like the temple. Like you can no longer.
You're not allowed to enter.
Yeah.
Some people are like they won't talk to their kids anymore. They won't talk to any like if you decide to leave the church, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Not just like you've lost your friends at this church. It's like you're done forever. Like it's just very it's hard for me too.
Yeah.
So I'm like I love these women. I love that they're like we're breaking the mold. We're modern women. We're doing these things, but it's like you're just aligning yourself with everything that's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I'm not saying I have the answer or know exactly how I feel, but yeah, I feel like it's the same now with like Hillsong, because that's what we went through. People, not people who are still going to church, but people who are still at Hillsong being like, well, it's different now. Things are different. But like, you're a part of Hillsong, which did all these horrible things, which Brian Houston, we know everything about that. Like, it's just like, I don't know about like,
it's hard.
Let's make a change in Hillsong. I get that. Let's make it better, whatever. But at a certain point you have to be like, but what about all of the horrible abuse that they've done? Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's just something that I think about and have struggled with. And like, at what point is it you're a pioneer or you're just complacent? You're aligning with this thing still.
Yeah. And I was talking to Seth about this the other day because it was kind of like similar to how I could relate to these women, because if I had stayed in the church, which I mean, obviously I just said I'm going to church again, but maybe in a
very different capacity.
Yeah, different capacity. But if I had been in the church and like, let's say I became a pastor or I married a pastor or I was like a worship leader, married someone, I would quite literally live the same life
fully.
Like I would have to absolutely change the way I am. I would absolutely have to act differently in public. I wouldn't be able to share things on social media, like maybe in a certain capacity. And I would have to live according to my husband's like kind of.
You would have to submit to him. That's a part of like the Bible. It's like women submit to their husbands and they have to obey them and they're the head of the household. And
and I can see myself in them, and I can see like how hard it is for them to like try and figure out like what is like how are they like moving within this like lifestyle, who they are, literally the fabric of who they are, because a lot of them were raised Mormon or joined the church like when they were super young. And it's like insane. It's like I can fully like relate, and I see like what that looks like, and it's like crazy to like kind of think one thing for like the rest of you think it's like for the rest of your life, and then things drastically change and you're like what now? Because now I'm completely different, because this was my entire life, and now I just have to be completely different. So it was so crazy, because I was like, oh my god, like this quite literally like could have been me, because I would have probably because when I joined the church I was like not even 21. I would think I was like 19, 20 or something when I joined, and like I would have probably kept going, gone to Bible college, gotten married, have kids already, and like have to like live this life
fully. It's hard too, because like you said, it's like I kind of see myself in these women to like a certain extent, like being told something, and a lot of them grew up in it, and that's what I did. I grew up in the church, and like being told something your whole life, it's not our opinion, this is fact, this is fact, this is how it is, and then to like start to kind of wrestle with that and be like, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Like I like to drink and party with my friends, and I like to like cuss, and I like to go out, and struggling with that, but also like still being in the church, it's hard. So like I fully relate to these women, and my critiques of everything in this conversation is not me saying like they should distance themselves. They need to do this. It's interesting because we've done a similar thing. We had a very similar experience with like being a part of it and starting to kind of wrestle with that and being queer and also that piece of it. Like, how do we be a part of this, but also be authentic? And it's hard. I don't have the answers and I don't know, but yeah, that's just something I kept thinking. Like, that was us. We fully did that same thing.
Because also the Christian church will never say that they were wrong about gay people. So it's like,
I don't think that will ever change.
I don't think they'll ever like come out and say this was incorrect.
Yeah. Oh no. See, that's the thing too. It's like, what are we fighting to change? Like, for them, they're none of the, well, I don't know, but they all are in straight relationships. So they don't have that piece of it. But I'm like, this fundamental core piece of the church is that they are against same-sex marriage. And so I don't think that's ever gonna not be true about the church. So like, how could I be a part of that?
Yeah. And maybe there are churches out there that are like on the outside because you know that other churches probably don't like allow them to like, you know, be these great places that feel differently about like the LGBTQIA plus community, but it's very few and far between. The large thing is that
the church at large believes this and holds this thing that's in the Bible to be the truth. So it's hard. I don't know. I don't have the answer, but I mean, any final thoughts?
Yes, I wanted to say,
because the camera, she's telling us she's about to die.
Oh my God. So the last thing I want to say is the entirety of the show, them being like, will Mom Talk survive this? Babe.
Honey, sweetie, Snookums, angel.
Babe, I'm going to be so real with you. What you have created is a literal TikTok group.
Right.
Just like every other TikTok group, you could quite literally break up, make videos on your own,
and still make money. You'll still be fine.
Literally, like, you could quite literally stop like Mom Talk and still make videos with the girls you're friends with and keep making money.
You think your account's just gonna get deleted because you're like, I don't want to really be in this friend group anymore. Like let's be for real. Let's be fucking serious.
The whole will Mom Talk survive?
Will Mom Talk survive this?
The entire time I was just like, babes, we can do this. Like, we can still, some girls can leave and we can still make videos together. You can keep your account. You have millions of followers on that account.
You can still post.
Yeah.
You can still upload videos on your personal TikTok account.
Yeah. And either way, you're gonna have your TikTok will still be there at the end of the day.
You're gonna be just fine.
And I get that they were like, oh, but when we all come together, like we like make more money. I'm okay. Yeah. But like you still have your own account that you can grow yourself.
Right.
So like, I think Mom Talk will be fine.
I think Mom Talk might survive this.
And also people actively use the hashtag Mom Talk for other things.
Yes. You don't own this hashtag. Like, that was funny. I didn't even think about that, but they kept being like, will Mom Talk survive this? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I think it probably will.
Literally, if there are random moms on TikTok hashtagging thing Mom Talk.
Fully.
So I think Mom Talk will be fine. It will be fine.
We're here to tell you, folks, Mom Talk's gonna be just fine.
And also, I don't even think they have like all one account where they post stuff on. I think they just will
like, girls, let's do this for my video, and one of them will post it, and
So if they had one account, I would fully get that. But they're all
it's just their own personal social media accounts.
God, I love them.
So we're ready for season 2.
Yeah.
We're pissed about the cliffhanger because it left on quite a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where the show goes. I just had like a flash forward, like That's So Raven vision of them like having 4 seasons and then us watching them become like mega millionaires from this and becoming so rich and famous. You know, when like reality shows, you can tell the budget increased, they all get more famous. Like the trips, they're not just going to Vegas, they're going to like Punta Cana and Bora Bora now. Like I could just see it becoming that because this first season was so huge.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is going to become a huge thing and they're all going to get rich and famous from this.
Which is so crazy because my thing is too, like, these are like random fucking girls on the internet.
women from Utah.
Like some of them, like Taylor, Whitney, I think, yeah, they have like the most followers out of everyone, like millions, like 2.5 and 4.5 for Taylor.
Yeah.
But the rest of these girls literally are regular people that like quite literally go to church. Like,
yeah, crazy.
It's insane. And I'm excited for them if they get another season. And shout out to me and Jess. Love them.
I love both of them. Jen is cute, but like divorce your husband.
I just like want her, like I want better things for Jen. I want better things for her.
Macy's
cute. Sweet.
Whitney, fuck off. Taylor, you're cute.
Michaela,
you're cute.
So unproblematic.
Literally just like there. Layla too, like so unproblematic, cute. Yes. Like, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good show. Yeah. And please tell us your thoughts. Let us know what you thought of the show.
And also, I'm just going to have to recommend this. Maybe we stop drinking 44-ounce soda. Like, I fear like they will not make it. I feel
their heart's gonna stop beating if we keep drinking all of this sugar. Like, they're drinking sugar.
No, literally, they're like, we can't have coffee because it has caffeine. Soda has caffeine.
Yes, babe. I am gonna hold my hand when I tell you this, but like Coke, it's got caffeine in it. Yes. Diet Coke has caffeine in it. Unless you get the caffeine-free version. Yeah. It has caffeine in it.
But I hope these girlies can last until season 2 with the amount of soda they're drinking, honestly.
We'll see. But that's between their bodies and God.
Literally. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or you watched the show or you haven't seen it and you're excited to watch it now, leave us a comment. Tell us, like, maybe you have an experience with the Mormon church. Maybe you're similar to us. We would love to hear all of your thoughts. And yeah, like I think it was a great show, and I hope they get more seasons
fully
so that way we can be entertained.
Yay, entertain us more, give us your drama. We want to see it.
Shout out to the Mormon girlies though. Like, I fear like it must be hard out there in Utah
with like, your 42-inch curls and your soda and your
girl. I was gonna do like Utah curls for this episode.
You could have done the Whitney, like,
yeah, but I don't want to be aligned with her.
Right. We would need to get you 42-inch extensions if we were going to do the Utah curls.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, should I curl my hair for this? Baby, my hair is up to here.
Right.
I fear I would not be matched by their like literal like.
To the ass, like huge curls, like crazy.
Like go off, like hair extensions for real.
Period.
Also, last but not least, I was going to say, where are they getting all the money to do all these procedures? I just connected it in my brain. But the fact that they're like, yeah, I just like got my vag done. I just got my boobs done. I mean, period.
Pop off. But like, yeah, it's also like we didn't even have time to get into like when they were like, we did ketamine. Like, girl, what are we doing?
Girl.
And they were getting high off anesthesia like before their Botox. Like before Botox. Laughing gas for Botox, by the way, is a shot. It's a shot. It's like a needle. They put the juice in and we're done. It's not like we're like cutting into your skin. Like, it's just a shot. What if I went to get a flu shot? I was like, do you have laughing gas for the flu shot? Like, what? Girl. Crazy. There's so many things. Like, maybe if you have lots of questions and maybe we do a part 2, but like, there's so many things we also didn't discuss. Yeah. And it's just crazy. But
God bless these Mormon queens.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Such a fun episode. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. We'll talk soon. Bye. Love ya.